Hello, my name is Juliana and I'm from class 11C, and today I will be reading you the first chapter of the book Jodie and the Library Card. I hope you enjoy. Chapter 1. And so it begins. Jodie walked over to the library. She desperately wanted to get her hands on a new card. With the last one, she'd spent all of her time limits and still not learned about her ancestors. She wanted to learn about her great-great-great-grandfather in World War II. She knew he had been a pilot in the Royal Air Force. Her classmates had teased her as she had used her library time for frivolous things like seeing Elvis and James Brown. She had been reprimanded for wasting time on musical visitations instead of academic ones. The teacher would have hissy fit if she knew Jodie had drunk tea with Michael Jackson and he had taught her to moonwalk. She had a journal in which she wrote down all her adventures, and there was not a lot of space left. She would need another book soon. She loved the front cover. It was from one of Jodie's favorite poems written many years ago called The Jumble Sale. She had gotten the book from a shop called W.H. Smith, which had not existed for many decades. Jodie glanced around the library and saw her school friend Millie. "Hey you," Jodie waved. "Yellows, Jode," but Millie, who always greeted her like that. "Yo, chica yo-yo," Jodie giggled and promptly received a glare from the librarian that seemed to say, "Shut it." "How's things?" Millie whispered. "Cool, I'm in for a new card. Do you think old snotbags will give me another?" "Blimey, Jodie, that's your fourth in 3 months." "I know, but it is very addictive. I have so much fun. I love meeting MJ. He taught me how to moonwalk." Jodie giggled. "You'll cop it if you're found out, you know, and don't forget it's forbidden to bring any books back," Millie said. She knew that her friend was a serious book lover and guessed she had a stash of books hidden away somewhere, although Jodie had never told her where, so Millie could not be questioned and so would not have to lie about the location of the stashed books. "Will you drop it already? I'm not a dweeb, you know," Jodie laughed. She walked towards the head librarian, Miss Noble, a plump woman with long, dark, curly hair. Fluxbridge Academy seemed to have its fair share of strange creatures, and Miss Noble was one of them. She always wore the same brown trousers and patterned top. All the kids thought she had a split personality. She often talked about her sister, Clara. She bought gifts for her and everything, but everyone knew she didn't exist. But no one could ever mention it, as she would get angry and indignant and then clutch her chest as if having a heart attack, saying, "Clara would be so upset if you said anything bad about her. You might as well just rip out her heart." Then she would throw a tantrum like a child and would more than likely get your library card refused for a month or more if she was in a bad mood, so the kids learned to accept and steer clear of her strange ways. Jodie had a secret that could get her banished from ever having a card again. Jodie filled in the form and explained why she needed another card. "You are either very clever, Miss Jodie Broom, or you are messing about. Time travel is a part of your curriculum, not your leisure time, and I hope you reread the rules." "Yes, Miss Noble, I'm researching so much that I use up my time rather quickly. Make sure this one lasts a little longer," she sneered, ever important in her role as head librarian. She handed over the card using her thumb and pointing finger as if the card was contaminated. "This is it. This was the card that would take her on journeys she could hardly wait to start. It is a funny thing when one enters a library, and there are no books, nope, not one, not even a newspaper so that older people could peruse them. Not a single form of printed material existed, probably throughout the whole world, especially not in this flipping library," Jodie thought. Millie winked at her from behind the screen. Jodie headed out of the room, then headed for the Jubileeport station to take her home. Miss Haddon had given her homework. One would have thought, in this day and age, it would be banned too. Getting into the number 53 Jubileeport, heading for lane 34, was a tedious task, but it only took 4 minutes. She was whisked home safe and sound. "I'm home," she yelled, and promptly grabbed a small package from the shelf and placed it on the warmerator. "Dinner ready in 3-4 seconds," an automated voice sounded from the machine. "Oh, Jodie, darling." Jodie turned around and saw the robo-maid in the hallway. "Yo, Janine," laughed Jodie, who would never ever get used to this robo-maid. She would much prefer to have her parents at home when she arrived, but as they were usually at work and it was against the law to leave any child under the age of 18 alone in the house, the leader supplied all houses with a robo-maid. Jodie grabbed the food and sat at the table in the kitchen to eat it, got a drink, and then went to her bedroom. She sat on her bed and got the library card out of her school backpack. It was smooth, blue and shiny, with the initials FA on the left-hand side and 5 buttons, all the same shape, with a light along the bottom. She so loved these cards. She would try this one out this evening after dark down. She hated dark down. No kids are allowed out on the street, thus stopping any problems that might occur if gangs are formed. I conclude the reading of the first chapter of Jodie and the library card. I hope you enjoyed this moment and that it encouraged you to read this book or other books in English. Thank you.